Hi everybody, Tori Baird here, and these are just some stories that I tell when I call up businesses, leaders, senior citizens. These are just some of the stories I tell. The very first story we tell is the story of how we got going with HirePatriots, and that is that back in 2004, we got a knock on the door one night, and it was a very young Marine who'd just gotten back from Iraq. He'd been injured over there, and the night he came home, he found out that his wife and his two little children, the oldest one wasn't even two, had been living in a house with no electricity, and his truck had been repossessed, and that happened because his wife had lost her job. She hadn't wanted to worry him, and when he saw the state his family was living in, of course, he was so worried, and so he just started knocking on neighbors' doors. And he asked us, he knocked on our door, and he asked us if there was any work he could do around our home. He knew we had a small business. Could he help us in our business that weekend? He needed to make some money, and he needed to make it fast. And he told us why, and of course it was just, so sad. When he said that, we just said, aren't you that Marine that got injured? And he said, yes, I am, but that just doesn't matter. We've run short of money, and I need to make some tonight. Can you help me? And, of course, my husband helped him that night, but he told him he'd think about it and he'd come up with a solution. And the solution was to have all the residents living near a military base post one-day off-duty jobs for our active duty military and veterans. And what does that mean? What is a one-day job? A one-day job can be paint a room, fix a fence. I'm moving on Saturday and I need two big strong guys to help me move. It might be for somebody like me, I might need somebody to come over and hook up my surround sound because I'm just too dumb to do it. It might be I need some help getting paperwork together. And so it's just a job where, perhaps you're going to pay $10 to $15 an hour and have a nice clean-cut Marine or Navy corpsman come over and help you with their chores. They're really going to appreciate it. Some of the folks that might answer that might be a military spouse or a recent veteran. And so those are the kinds of stories I tell, explain what HirePatriots is, and we need their help. The next story I tell is a story when we started getting going with HirePatriots. I met a wonderful former Marine. It was a gal, and she was about 25 years old, and she was really sharp. She was really smart and very hardworking and diligent. And this young lady had taken lots and lots of jobs off of HirePatriots.com. She was very handy. Her dad had been a contractor, I guess still is. And so, she could fix just about anything. She was smart as whip. She was great at computer stuff. She'd taken a lot of cleaning jobs on the site. They really helped her pay the bills. She was out of the military now. Only about 6 months was she out. She was going to school to finish up her degree. And she'd just gotten married. And her husband was a sergeant as well in the Marines. He was in the military police. He took jobs like he helped people clean their carpets. He helped people do yard work. He helped people install the solar panels on their house. Again, he was a handy guy. Helped a lot of people move. And so those are the kinds of jobs that they took. Now, it really helped them out if they were short of money. San Diego is a really expensive place to live, and you know how the economy is today. It's a tough economy. And so what we believe is that if an active duty military person or a veteran needs to make a little extra money, this is a wonderful, practical way for the entire community to say thank you to our military and our veterans. So really, that's a great story. And so there'll be more.
Yeah. In a minute or less, tell the story of Greg.
Okay. Greg is a former Navy man that I met about 4 years ago, and he's a handyman kind of guy. And I met him at a job fair, and we helped him find a job back then. And through the years, the economy in San Diego's been pretty tough. And Greg has a lot of skills. He can fix a generator. He can do laser work, and he can just fix about anything. He does a lot of yard work, ranch work. And so he found that first job, but he found out about these one-day jobs. And through the years, he's taken a lot of one-day jobs off of HirePatriots.com. Ranch work, fixing people's mobile homes, and it's always helped him, pay the bills. But of course, the economy in San Diego has been really rough, and Greg got laid off. And last summer, he and his wife and his 4 children ended up in the campgrounds at Camp Pendleton in a tent. Now, when that tent rained, it would collapse, and the kids that were living that way, it was really hard. And as hard as that was, Greg was one of the lucky ones, because in San Diego, residents take the time to post one-day off-duty jobs, and Greg was able to find 3 to 5 of those a week while he was unemployed. Did he get to move back in his apartment right away? Nope, but he got to keep his cell phone going. He got to put gas in his car and keep his kids fed, and it gave him hope. It also gave him something else. It gave him dignity, because virtually everybody that posts a one-day job off of HirePatriots.com says thank you for your sacrifice and service, and tells him what a great job he did, and maybe tipped him that day and said God bless you, things like that. And so what a great thing while he was looking for a job that HirePatriots was available. But everywhere else in the country, veterans are going through this, and so that's why it's really, what we do is really important. This is something that we need the entire community to embrace. We need the entire country to embrace. We need the reporters to embrace this and write about it. We need all the politicians to pitch in and spread the word. And so these are the stories I tell. We need your help. These are, Hire Patriots. What we've got going here is really important.